Hello everyone, today I'm really excited to present my final project. It is called Embedded Innovation Studio, which I worked for a company called LoanPro. The project is all about creating a seamless connection between these two systems. LoanPro, which is a tool for managing loans, and Innovation Studio, which is a platform for collaboration and workflows. The main goal of this project was to solve real challenges like keeping data synchronized between these two systems, making collaboration easier for the teams, and managing API communications more effectively. So let's start by understanding the problem I needed to solve. LoanPro and Innovation Studio don't naturally work together, which means that users had to manually update data or switch between the two systems. So it was inefficient and prone to errors, but my solution or project bridges this gap by integrating LoanPro's features directly into Innovation Studio. To achieve this, I used a platform called Workato, which automates processes between different apps. You can think of Workato as a translator that helps these systems talk to each other, so users don't have to worry about the technical details. In this project, I followed a microservices architecture system. This means I had to work on independent tasks or services, each with its own responsibility. Now let me walk you through each of these tasks and how I did them step by step. The first task was to make Innovation Studio easily accessible through a browser. To do this, I created a simple web page that displays Innovation Studio using an iframe. An iframe is like a window within a web page that lets you interact with another app without leaving the current page. For example, users can work on LoanPro but still see and interact with Innovation Studio in the same browser tab. On the technical side, I just added an iframe tag in the HTML code and set its width and height to fit the content properly. It was a really simple step, but an important one because it provides a seamless experience for users. The next step was to synchronize customer data between LoanPro and Innovation Studio. This ensures that when a new customer is created in LoanPro, it is automatically created in Innovation Studio. To achieve this, I used webhooks and APIs. A webhook is like a notification system. It sends data to another system when something happens. For example, when a new customer is added in LoanPro, a webhook sends their details to Innovation Studio. An API, as you know, allows two systems to communicate together. I used AWS API Gateway to receive these webhook notifications and AWS Lambda to process them. And here's how it works. When a customer is created in LoanPro, it triggers a webhook that sends the customer's details to API Gateway. And through API Gateway and Lambda function, Lambda function is like a small piece of code that I wrote in Python. The Lambda function processes the data, formats it, and sends it to Workato. Workato then updates the Innovation Studio with the new customer's details. This automation saves a lot of time and ensures that customer data is always consistent between these two systems. This is the end result. For example, a customer is created here in LoanPro. The same customer automatically is created in Innovation Studio as well. Once the customer data is synchronized, the next step is to allow team members or collaborators to collaborate in Innovation Studio. For this, I implemented role-based access control. Role-based access control ensures that each person has access to only the information that they need based on their role. For example, a manager might have full access to everything, but an analyst might only need to be able to view reports or specific data. And here's how it works. LoanPro sends a webhook with the details of new collaborator, like their name, email, and assigned role, to the Lambda function. The Lambda function then validates this data and constructs a request for Workato. Workato then sends an email invitation to the collaborator with their assigned role. Once they accept the invitation, they can log in and start working within their permissions. But if the process fails due to temporary issues, the system uses exponential backoff to retry the request. This means that it waits longer between each try to avoid overloading the server. This is the invitation through an email with the assigned role. Then another key part of this project was to create actions that users can perform, like searching for loans, searching for customers, and many more. So here's the process. Users input an API key and a unique ID to prove they are authorized to access LoanPro. So this is basically the authentication part. And then there is the action part, which is, for example, an action allows users to search for customers based on their name or social security number. And then the system takes the input and then builds a query object, which is a structured request, and sends it to LoanPro API using post request. And then error handling is the part that checks if the request fails, then the system retries it using the same strategy, which is called exponential backoff. If it's successful, then the result will be returned to the user. This is the result. These are the set of actions that users can click on. Once it's clicked, it's going to ask for some inputs. Once the input is entered, once the inputs are entered, then it would return the result. The final step was automating the creation of folders in Innovation Studio for each customer. Imagine you have a folder structure for one customer and need to replicate it for another. The system can now do this automatically. The process is like LoanPro sends customer ID and folder structure through a webhook to the Lambda function. Then the Lambda function checks if the required master folders and subfolders already exist. If not, it creates them. And it also organizes the folders and returns their ID and status for future use. This feature saves a lot of time and ensures consistency across customers. So this is the end result of this step. These are the folders with these subfolders that are created automatically when a user is created. The final result of this project is a system that automates customer data updates between LoanPro and Innovation Studio, makes collaboration easier and more secure with role-based permissions, and handles API requests efficiently even at high volumes. Looking ahead, I plan to copy solution sets, which are nothing but a set of processes, and place them in the folders that I created earlier. Also, I need to add usage monitoring to track API calls and resource usage, and also set up alerts and restrictions for when usage exceeds certain limits. The project was a huge and a great learning experience. I got hands-on experience with AWS services like API Gateway and Lambda, which taught me how to handle webhooks and automate workflows, Python programming for writing backend logic and processing data, Ruby and Workato, which I use to build custom connectors and workflows. And lastly, API design and error handling, which helped me understand how to make systems communicate. This wraps up my presentation. Thank you so much for your time.